going to share for my...
Yeah, sharing is caring, by the way.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. No, we're back. We are back for another episode of Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm, Integrity Roofing and Siding, and the Sabinal Group. We are inside the Lexus, all-electric Lexus 450 RZ 450E, courtesy of North Park Lexus of San Antonio and North Park Lexus at Dominion. I want to make sure I get all of that in. We've got the dynamic sky going here. We got a little shade going thanks to Melanie Mendez-Gonzales, who's nice enough to have us here, who's on the program today. She, as a good social media content creator, she's sharing this show right now. So I don't want to interrupt that. But welcome in.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this here. You know a little bit about this and what we do, because this is how you help pay the bills as well. And
exactly.
You've created yourself kind of a nice little media empire, if you will.
Well, thank you.
An award-winning.
Award-winning.
As we will get into in just a little bit. But, I mean, I'm reading, and I usually put everything on one card, and, well, I had to make the font smaller on this card because it's a lot of stuff. But among other things, you have your blog, and your website is literally quemeanswhat.com.
Qué Means What.
Now, I know that translates qué means what.
Yes.
In Spanish to English. How did you come up with that name? What inspired you to go with that name?
Oh, I love the story. So when I started blogging, it was just my name, Melanie Mendez-Gonzales. And anything that I start, I like to get better. So I started these writing exercises.
Right.
And one of them was to write your most embarrassing story.
Oh.
So at that moment in my life, my most embarrassing story was when I was in the 4th grade. I took an after-school Spanish class because I didn't grow up speaking Spanish.
Okay.
And the teacher did this exercise where she put us in a semicircle with flashcards, and you had a Spanish card, and the English word was on the back. My word was que.
Mm-hmm. Q-U-E.
Q-U-E. Q-U-E. And I said, I don't know what that means. And she says, it's okay. It means, que means what? And I said, no, I don't know what it means. She says, no, que means what? I went, I don't know what it means. And so I was, extremely embarrassed. I'm turning red right now. I'm just saying it, repeat it all over again.
No.
But as a 12-year-old, I was extremely embarrassed. I did not go back to the Spanish class. That's how embarrassed I was. And so when I was writing this story out, I went, oh my God, que means what? That's the name of the blog. And that's
because you've been blogging for a while.
Yes, since 2011.
Back in, this, and content creation was in a different place back in 2011.
Oh my God, yes.
As you know.
Yes. We didn't have to do video. We didn't have to do photos. It was just, typing your little heart out on the internet and pushing publish. And, I blogged for like a year and I didn't tell anybody.
Really?
Yeah. It was just like, I'm going to just do this. And then I would get these emails, to me in response, and I kind of went, oh, this is a thing.
Was it more like a therapeutic type thing for you, or why? I mean, because it takes time and effort, obviously. I mean, what was it about blogging, or some people journal or have a diary? What was it about blogging that just resonated with you at the time?
Definitely the writing. I've always written. I've always journaled in some sort, and then I consider myself a pretty early adapter to technology. Yeah. So as this became a thing, I thought, let me just try it and see. And the more that I wrote, it still is very therapeutic. Mm-hmm. But what I started to notice was there were not women, Latinas like me, publishing content about who we are, how our life is, and things like that. You Google Latina, right? There's a lot of things that come up. Sure. And it wasn't necessarily representative of who I thought I was, or who I knew myself to be. And so I kind of felt this calling to, well, if no one else is creating what I want to see, right, then you create what you want to see.
I love it. Were you in San Antonio at the time?
Yes, I was. I was a brand new mom. My kids were babies, and that was part of it too. I was a stay-at-home mom. Yes. And so I needed an outlet. Okay. It was definitely the whole, you have kids, I'm sure.
I've got 3 teenagers myself.
Yeah, so I was like,
this is my outlet.
See, okay, exactly this, but 2011.
And it helps pay the bills too, because that's the other thing is who would have thought? I mean, you'd asked me, in 2011, if we could do something like this and generate income. Right. I would have laughed that person out of the room.
Right.
But here we are today.
Here we are. Yeah. I always say I couldn't have imagined this career because, one, the internet didn't exist. So, I thought to be able to share stories, I needed to be a reporter on TV, on radio, right?
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah. So this has been really just amazing. And I feel grateful every day that I do get to do, even though I'm frustrated a lot of days. I'm still very grateful.
No, well, listen. Early internet, we're not that old, but early internet, it was too slow. Like you could not sustain a live broadcast, or you couldn't, broadcast out to the masses or anything like that,
or even upload decent photos.
High quality, high res. But now what we've just talked about, Qué Means What, is like one little slice of the Melanie pie, because you host. Oh, by the way, you host a show on KLRN.
Yes, I do.
Public Television. Which we can talk about. You do social media consulting, and you've spoken at South by Southwest multiple times, four times. And not to bury the lead here, but you and I, we're going to collaborate again.
Yes.
We'll be a little more dressed up 1 month from today.
1 month from today. So excited.
We're very excited about this. We will be co-emceeing the annual San Antonio Hispanic Journalists Scholarship Gala.
Yes.
26th annual, I believe.
26th annual, and the theme this year is Voces de San Antonio. So I think that we make a good team for this.
I think so. We've got two voices, and we know the city a little bit. But no, that's an organization that we're both members of. I was a board member in the early 2000s when I was a young.
Fantastic!
Yeah, I was a vice president.
I love that.
Two-term vice president in SAHJ. Probably. So you want to talk about early internet? That might have been like Netscape Navigator or Windows 99. Exactly. AOL. We typed up our minutes on dial-up or something, but it's great to see the organization thriving still and giving away just tens of thousands of dollars worth of scholarships.
Absolutely. I joined, actually, if you go search my archives on the blog, one of my first blog posts was about attending the gala in 2012 and how excited I was to see all these, people we'd watch on TV or read in the news. And, kind of going back to how I started this, it was such a thing for me because of the representation.
Yeah.
The representation that I got to see and I wanted to see, and then that's what made me want to be a part of the organization and, off and on for the last 12 years. Yeah.
Like that. It just flies by.
Yeah.
No, I tell people I've worked in other markets, and San Antonio is just different. I mean, there's just, even when it comes to the media landscape here, as competitive as it can be sometimes, some of my best friends, greatest friends are I call them TV brothers and sisters from other stations.
Right.
People that I competed with over the years, doing sports and news, mornings, nights, whatever, and it's just good people.
Right. Yeah.
Just yesterday, Gloria Madera was right there in this seat, who was a reporter and anchor with me once upon a time, and still a great friend.
That's what I love about San Antonio is people continue to stay connected.
Yeah.
You can't be in a room without somebody saying, we used to work together, or we went to school together, and I love that. And that's what I love about the gala, too, by the way. So just to mention, it is 1 month away.
1 month from today, August 10th.
August 10th, Saturday at the Grand Hyatt, and it is one of the best parties, I think.
It really is. No. I've been multiple times. I've emceed it. Years ago I emceed the gala. But their website is sahispanicjournalist.com, which I'll put on here, sahispanicjournalist.com. Tickets and tables are still available, sponsorship opportunities if you want to help young people. And I think we turned out okay, right? So
I think so.
This is what, we're looking out for the next generation.
Yeah, we're adapting so we can continue to lead the way. Yes. But actually, individual tickets just went on sale today.
There you have it.
So,
okay.
So get your tickets.
Get your tickets. We'll see you on August 10th. Which reminds me, I need to find something to wear for that. So thank you for the reminder.
Well, you let me know so we can.
We got to color coordinate.
So we don't clash.
There you go. Okay, we'll talk. You grew up in the Lubbock area, right?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, we're out in West Texas, flatlands, oil farming.
What was that early, childhood life like for you? And at what point did you start to kind of, get in touch with your Latina self and realize that you were going to pursue kind of the direction that you ultimately did?
Yeah, so my family is actually from South Texas. We are both my mom and my dad's side were migrant workers. That's how we ended up in Lubbock. They went to work the cotton fields or various fields and then just ended up staying. And so growing up, I didn't really know that life because we were settled. And so
Right.
we only went to school in one place, etc. All I really remember is that there were very few brown people. It was not a very diverse place. So when you grow up like that, you want to fit in, you want to belong. And so being different wasn't really what I was trying to be.
Right.
So speaking Spanish, looking different, it was like, this isn't, you're
Because
young.
English was your first language.
Yeah, it's still
Well,
really my only language.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
And so a lot. So I resisted, the very big Mexican type of things. So my dad's family still had a lot of those great traditions.
Right.
My mom's family was what people would say more assimilated.
Okay.
Even though both families have been here for more than 5 generations. I'm actually a 7th generation.
7th, I saw that,
Tejana, yeah. So, it really wasn't until I got connected in high school with an organization that is actually based out of here, NHI, the National Hispanic Institute, that helps Hispanic Latino kids prepare for college.
Okay.
And we went to Dallas for a conference, and I saw a bunch of other brown kids that were, had a pathway to college.
Yeah.
And that kind of, ignited whatever it was in me to be like, okay, I want to go do this. I'm not finding it at home, so I have to go somewhere to find that. That's kind of how I ended up at in San Marcos for.
Well, I was going to ask. So
yeah.
ultimately, you made your way to San Antonio by way of San Marcos. So you went to Texas State.
Yes, Bobcats. See the Bobcats.
Yeah, and you found what you were looking for there.
Definitely more of it. So in college, I've learned that this is a similar experience for a lot of people.
Right.
I took Mexican American Studies, Chicano literature. I read Sandra Cisneros for the very first time in my life, and that kind of rocked my world. It was like, whoa, who are these people who are brown? They look like me. We sound a little different because they speak Spanish. I know. Right. But they're super proud of who they are, and I just wanted more of it. I wanted it. So I was, studied, I'm a communications major. So I always had the love for storytelling. And then I did minor in Spanish, and, that didn't turn out as well. But I did try. I'm always trying. Yeah.
I'm a work in progress as well.
Yeah.
And I kick myself all the time because I wish I had picked it up at a younger age. But better late than never.
Exactly.
We're getting there.
Yeah. I'm always working on it.
This is Melanie Mendez-Gonzales, by the way. I love this on your website. It says you're a digital media entrepreneur.
Yes.
I like that. I want to be that.
Yeah,
like,
you are that.
Well, I'm not to the level that you are.
But you are that.
Thank you. It's very nice. So you left Texas State, and was San Antonio the next stop?
Well, I married into San Antonio, as I tell people. Because I think it's a rule. If you marry someone from San Antonio, you end up in San Antonio.
That's probably the case.
Yeah,
for the most
and
part.
that's not a complaint. That's a blessing.
No, yeah.
It's a blessing. So yes, so my husband is from San Antonio, and I always wanted. So because I did grow up in Lubbock, San Antonio was the vacation spot.
Sure.
So we would travel down here to the coast. That's our vacation. So I had this, love for San Antonio. It was beautiful from get-go. And it was a city. It was a big city, right?
Big city.
So I always wanted to be here. So the fact that I met somebody who was from here and also wanted to come back home was perfect. And I say I get to raise my family here. I choose to raise my family here.
Well, then if you're a young Latina looking for culture and Mexican heritage, and I mean, can you think, is there a better place on earth?
There is not a better place on earth to explore your Latinidad, your heritage, your culture than right here in San Antonio.
All right, so we touched on the blogging and everything, the consulting and all that, but the show you host on KLRN, which
Salud.
is Salud, right,
Yes.
right. You've hosted other things as well. I was going to get them all mixed up. Salud is the current show. How did you come into that and cross over into the TV world?
Yes, so in 2021 was the launch of Salud on KLRN, and it was hosted by Jenna Salcedo.
Yes.
And so I was invited to be a guest. And so I'm super excited, right? Because I love KLRN.
Sure.
Especially as a mom and then a homeschool mom. We were very familiar with KLRN and their learning
Public
and educational.
television, yes.
And so as a guest, it was wonderful. I loved being on there. I thought it was a wonderful opportunity to get to share my story on in a series with so many other Latina leaders in the city. And then in the next season, Jenna was not available, and so they invited me to be the host. And so it was really a thing for me, Ernie, because I share this in my personal story about how part of Qué Means was exploring my own identity, not ever feeling Latina enough, because a lot of us feel that way for whatever reason. And so I felt like always, creating this content, sharing these things, learning things so I could be more Latina. And when I was offered the host position for Salud, no one ever asked me, are you Latina enough to host this show? Right? It was just like, that's what they saw me as, and that's what they offered me the position. And it was a nice, why am I still searching to be Latina enough?
Well, I was going to ask you, because it's like an affirmation then.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I was about to ask you, are you still struggling with that?
I have moments. I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely in a much better place. Okay. I think that comes with the work that I've done, the people that I've met, the interviews I've been able to do, the things that I've learned, but also a little bit with age. You just kind of get to where you're like, this is who I am. And I'm good with it. I don't know about anybody else who has a problem, but that's not right.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But no, I was just wondering, because who would you be trying to prove that to?
Yeah. And that's ultimately when you kind of go, why? What am I doing?
Right.
Why am I exactly that? There's not an answer. Who am I trying to prove myself to? And then it's like, oh, I guess only me. No one else is asking me these questions, right?
Right.
So now the narrative. So right before Salud, I was hosting my own online interview series for Latina leaders.
Right.
And my message is, there's no one way to be Latina.
Yeah.
We're all different. That's our superpower.
If I were to put you on the spot, is there one or two Latinas or someone who you've interviewed who just either surprised you in a great way or just blew you away, or you were just really taken by?
Well, there's two women that I interviewed that I felt like, oh, this is, I've made it. I'm done, right? I can retire now. The first one was Dolores Huerta.
Okay.
I got to interview her on my own as Latinas Who Lead.
Cool.
And then I also got to interview her again as a part of Salud.
Oh, nice.
So, civil rights icon.
Sure.
And then the other one is Maria Hinojosa. Mm-hmm. So Peabody Award-winning journalist. I think that she's like a carrier of our Mexican-American stories. And
I just had this conversation with somebody the other day about just the birth of Spanish language news and television. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't realize has roots here in San Antonio.
Oh yeah, Marta Tejerina.
Legend.
Legend,
one of my great friends, and one of the first people I met in San Antonio, Hispanic journalist, many years ago, and she's still
she's
unbelievable.
In the Smithsonian Museum.
I think I did know that.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised.
Yeah, she
should be.
There's an exhibit around Latina Spanish-speaking journalists in the U.S., and Martha's one of the prominent features in that. And I think that's amazing. I mean,
it is unbelievable.
And it's right here in San Antonio, and there's so much history here. And so I've never been able to interview Marta. So Marta, I'm welcome if there's ever an opportunity.
Yeah, me too, by the way. We have a seat here for you. I'll
get in the back. You can sit here and we'll have a conversation.
But I think it's just, again, just raising that awareness that, a lot of it started right here in San Antonio. Which is pretty remarkable, actually. Think about it. So.
It is.
All right, so we got to, how do you get invited to speak at South by Southwest 4 times?
You have to apply, actually.
Really?
You have to apply. They have a whole process. It's actually open right now. It's called the panel picker.
Yeah.
And you submit what you want to talk about and who your panelists will be, and you go through this process. The public votes for it. And so I did that 4 times. I would say my secret is I just pay attention to what's going on. And then I try to line that up with what I really care about and what I know about.
Yeah.
Or at least what I can put a panel of people together to know about.
Very good.
And then if enough people show that they have interest in it, and then it matches with South by Southwest theme or what,
What
you
they're-
know,
yeah, what
what
they're
they want to
looking
do that
for,
year.
yeah.
And then it comes along. So I've done Latinos in the outdoors or diversity in the outdoors.
Okay.
Raising kids with a STEM education, entrepreneurship,
Right.
and then multicultural content creators. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's one of my favorite events. I go every year.
Does public speaking or being on camera make you nervous at all?
Yes, all the time. And I don't know if people get like surprised by that because like, you don't seem nervous. I'm like, my ears are burning, like my heart is racing.
Yes.
But I do it anyway because I enjoy it.
Yeah. No. It's
Yeah.
it's like I say, when I was in, you were in 4th grade and you were like, Qué Means what? I was the kid that talked so much, and the teachers would always say, Ernie's a good student, but he talks so much. And I said, one of these days, I'm going to find a job where I get paid to talk.
You're paid to talk too much.
And here we are today.
Yep, exactly.
I mentioned earlier, Melanie is an award-winning digital media entrepreneur, among many other things, and you have won such award here today, which is pretty cool. I haven't seen this yet, but, well, look at that.
This is my TECLA award.
Okay.
And so this is from the organization called Hispanic. I'm not sure if they still do the awards, but I won this in 2018. And it is very special to me, for one, because when you get recognized by your peers, I think that's a big thing, right?
That's huge.
The other thing is it's probably too small to see, but this says
Here, let me hold it up to the camera. Go ahead.
Best Social Good Content Creator.
There it is.
And then right underneath it says the Jewel Award. And so they named this award after Jewel, who was
the singer?
No.
Oh.
She was a content creator out of Miami, and she was amazing. She's a huge advocate for women's health.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we lost her to cancer.
Oh, no.
And a large part of her advocacy was for that. And so, but she was a great friend.
Yeah.
And we would banter all the time between the Spurs and the Heat.
Yeah.
And she was just a great mentor of mine. So we lost her, I believe, 2 years prior to this.
Yeah.
So then when I was nominated and then received the award, it was very special to me.
Good for you.
So that's why I brought the award.
Good. Well, that's and well deserved. Well
Thank
deserved.
you. Thank you.
A few more minutes here with Melanie Mendez-Gonzales, KMeansWhat.com.
Yes.
And we touched on that. The two of us, 1 month from today, will be together again at the Grand Hyatt for the annual San Antonio Association of Hispanic Journalists Scholarship Gala. So, as you said, individual tickets went on sale today.
Yes.
And we hope to see you out there. A lot of our TV friends will be out there and other content creators. And I wonder if, I suspect maybe a content creator wannabe will see this. And I guess I would ask you if you could speak directly to someone out there who sees what you're doing.
Ooh.
And are like, I like that. I want to do what she's doing. Like, how does one get into it, or what advice would you give?
So, like the practical stuff, there's so many courses, paid and free and whatever, that you can find online, right? How to get started, start the website, start an Instagram account, etc., etc. So go do that, right? Like teach yourself those things, how to get online and whatnot. But in order to really enjoy it and make an impact, it has to be about something you care deeply about,
right? That
you're not going to get tired of. Like you might get tired. It's like there's been times I'm not tired of the writing, but I can do photos and videos, right? So it's not necessarily the avenue, but it's the mission, what you want to talk about. So for me, it's like telling Latino stories. And I have it on my wall in my home office. It says, did I tell a story about Latinos today? And that's what keeps me going, right? And those are, right now it's summer football, right? So there's soccer everywhere. There's the Gala that we'll be talking about. There's, movies. So it doesn't have to be one way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to do that. But that's my main mission, right? Elevating those positive stories about our Latino community.
I love it. And you've been able to parlay that into, because this is storytelling is what I'm all about too, but you've been able to parlay that into some pretty good partnerships with some household names.
Yeah.
What is it? Walmart, Verizon, Chevrolet. I mean, I'm not asking you to give your trade secrets away, but I mean, you represent yourself. Like do you have an agent or a publisher or a?
Nope. It's just me.
So you're just grinding and doing your thing, and then you make connections with these Walmart or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say it's all has to do with showing up. So go to conferences, engage with the brands that you want to, brands and organizations, right? Because yes, those are they're very special to me. But also like local organizations, right? I partner with them as well and reach out to them and let them know this is what you're doing.
Nonprofits.
This is how you do it. Yeah, nonprofits.
And that's what I've had a lot of success or I think an impact with nonprofits here. And what I told people when I was in the news, I didn't realize how many nonprofits there were just in San Antonio.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's so many. So it's not hard to find an organization that's probably already doing the work that you care about. It's not hard to find a brand, right? Like look in your closet, look in your house, you'll see all the brands that
They're
you
all
buy.
around you.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you just go it's just you have to show up, you have to do the work. Yeah. And then you just don't stop. That's the trick, right? Like you just don't you're going to get told no a lot. I still get told no a lot.
Been told no, I think this week already. Yeah. But you're right. No, you're right. I mean, in terms of doing stuff, even if you don't have the biggest audience or you don't get as many clicks as you thought you would, or whatever the case may be, I think consistency too, and like you said, showing up.
For sure.
And putting in the work and not taking all the shortcuts and everything. And
not taking the shortcuts.
It eventually pays off.
Even like we were talking about the journalists. I mean, I know we're here to talk about the gala, but also just the organization in itself, right? I'm not a journalist, right? But this organization isn't just for journalists,
That's
right?
one thing I love about it.
Yeah, so it's why would I not be in it?
Right.
Our values line up, and so I'm going to be there, and I try to find organizations that matter like that.
Because you're in a room, like when there are meetings or events and stuff, you're in the room with PR professionals, newspaper people, print, radio, online, a lot of
young, old,
male, female, all different walks of life. It's it is great.
Yeah, and not even all Latino.
No, exactly. Yeah, right.
So it's a wonderful network.
That's a good point because you do not have to be Hispanic to join the organization.
Right.
That's just in the interest of inclusion. And
yes, yeah. They make it very easy to join. It's minimal investment every year.
It's $25 or something like that. So, and again, one more time on August 10th, we'll be together again. If you'd like to be there in person, hopefully you can get your tickets, and we'll be at the Grand Hyatt for the annual. And that's always cool to give scholarship money away to...
And awards.
And
some
awards. I won't spoil it, but there are some very deserving people who are going to be recognized that night. I'm really happy for them, and it's going to be a special night. So.
It is going to be a special night. I mean, I was capturing some behind-the-scenes social media content as volunteering for the organization. Yeah. As they were recording the stories of some of the students, scholarship winners.
Yes.
And it was a great reminder of yes, this is why we do this. Like you see them and you hear their stories and storytelling, and it's a great reminder as to why it's important to support organizations like SAHJ, but also going back to the Voices of San Antonio, right? Like who's here.
Right. And that's another thing you need to, not to get preachy here, but sometimes you got to do pro bono work, and you got to volunteer and kind of mix it up a little bit.
I mean, Ernie, look, there's always a debate. I just unfollowed somebody on Threads the other day because I was like, I am so tired of hearing this debate about I need to charge for everything and I don't need to charge for everything.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. Right. And if I had not done pro bono work from time to time, I wouldn't have some of the relationships that I do. Yeah.
And those are priceless.
Right.
Those relationships.
Right. It's just you have to make the decision for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you and I aren't going to make the same decisions as to what we're going to do, right? For free or for pay. And that's okay. You got to make the decision for yourself.
Love it. Like I said, when I grow up, I want to be Melanie. Go check out our website, by the way, because I was admiring it yesterday. Qué Means What? So QUE. KMeansWhat.com, which is the blog and the website and everything. And she wears many, many hats, including MC again on August 10th for the San Antonio Association of Hispanic Journalists Scholarship Gala. It's going to be a great night. SAHispanicJournalist.com if you would like to check that out. And I'm just thrilled. I could sit here and pick her brain for another hour. But she's got a family to get to, and I'm sure other things to do.
And we're going to hang out.
We're going to hang out.
August 10th anyway.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. I'm excited. I've never co-emceed. I know you have. But,
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, I've never co-emceed, so I'm very
But I've
excited.
never co-emceed with you, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. But thank you for doing this.
Thank you for
Congratulations.
having me.
Here's to many more awards and just great content and everything. And appreciate what you do.
I appreciate what you do. And I have to say, people probably say this to you all the time, but congratulations on what you've done and how you've pivoted. And already people are talking about you and talking about this show, and we appreciate that you're still invested in our community.
We gotta take care of each other. That's what we try to do. That's what I love about one of the many things I love about this city is how people lift you up and support.
Right.
So anyway, I could go on and on. But one more time, GammeansWhat.com. Thanks again.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. All right, there's another episode of Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm, Integrity Roofing and Siding, and the Sabinal Group. We'll be back again very soon to do this all over again. You never know. Maybe Marta Tijerina will be next. You never know who will be in the front seat here. But until then, have a great day. Bye for now.